What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? It's Uncle Muscles. I just tried to record a video on Merfolk, and then it kept cutting out. So I think we're going to start from the beginning here. I'm going to try to show you guys exactly how to catch them. First thing you want to do is find out where the Merfolk are. Now, generally, they're going to be located near the faction islands. Now, the faction islands are this strip of islands, this strip of islands, and this strip of islands. This is the Westmount, Eastmount Islands. This is the Southmount, Eastmount Islands. This is the Southmount, Westmount Islands. We're going to be going up here to the Eastmount ones, just because those are the ones that are closest to me personally, I believe. And actually, it doesn't really matter because we're going to be using a teleporter anyway. So, yes, let's just double check. If you look on the map, you're looking for this icon. In fact, we'll just set this as our position now. And really what we need to do is just find a close teleporter to there. Or this town right here is fine too. So we're just going to teleport to the mermaid location. Like I said, it's going to be... here, while we're teleporting, I'll show you the other two locations. So this is the one kind of closest to Eastmount, Central Mount. Let's look over here. There's the one for the Southmount, Merfolk. To be honest, this is actually the one probably for Southmount. Or the one I just showed you is the one for Eastmount, and I believe this is the one for Westmount. You can see usually people have a bunch of houses built on these, and they're just fishing these all day. So those are the three Merfolk locations. I don't think it changes. There's just three for the map entirely, and they're generally going to be in those faction areas. Now, that tells you something about the game right now, is that the only PvP in the game really is kind of around those faction areas. And Merfolk, if you're in the sea, you can attack any of those. Any player by the sea can be attacked. The sea is open. There's no faction police in the sea. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. I know a lot of people think this is just a PvE game. It truly is not. There is PvP everywhere in the game. Even within your own home faction, you can be killed. There is just no full loot PvP, and there's no real loss in the game. It's just durability loss. But if you really want to, guys, you can always just come out to the mermaid location and attack people there, especially if they're in an alternative faction. Now, the reality is you don't even have to worry about whether they're in an alternative faction or not. If you're playing correctly, you can kite a lot of the officers and stuff like that, but we're just on our way right now. I don't want to get too much into the meta of the PvP in this game, because to be honest, it is borderline griefing if you don't really understand what you're doing or what you're trying to accomplish. That's just my opinion. There's no real PvP in the game currently, just because there's no real stakes. But the reality is that most people, and you will see in one of the videos that I'm going to release very soon, are utilizing mermaids to stabilize their economy. So if you want to mess with people's economy or increase the price of mermaids, I would highly recommend you go and attack people near these mermaid spots, if that's what you're interested in. Now, a lot of people playing this game are not interested in PvP, and they're probably mad at me that I just told everybody that you can go kill them over here. But you know what? That's life, isn't it? That's what you have to deal with. You got to deal with me. I know people that spend thousands of rubies trying to upgrade their mermaids, and they get them from this area. So if you want to mess with people's economies, you can just kill them while they're trying to get their mermaids. Or you can blow up their fish tanks after the mermaids have been placed in there, and then I'll tell you guys a nice little trick on how to help prevent against some of the loss if you do have your fish tank blown up, or if you just forget to feed your fish while they're in your fish tank. There's some nice, I don't want to say pay to win, but it's somewhat of a pay to win option in this game with the fish tanks. You can use Amber to buy a special fish tank that doesn't allow your fish to die in it. But aside from that, yeah, mermaids seem to be one of the best way to stabilize your economy if you want rubies and or cowries. And then on top of that, it is a juicy location for people to PvP on. As we get closer to here, we're about 150 paces out. That's about 1 mile. We're going to start seeing a bunch of houses probably show up here. Oh, did people move? Actually, you only see one house here. Oh, no, here we go. There we go. Oh, this is Tijuana's house. I like his house. I think he's the boat here. And I don't see anybody on my player icon. You can see this guy has a bunch of... There's Tijuana. Hey, Tijuana. How you doing, buddy? Oh, there's somebody here. It's Tijuana. Invite to clan. Anyway, so watch, he just comes up and kills me right now. This is where you fish the mermaid. And I'm going to try to get 1 or 2 because I actually just tried to record my mermaid video on how to like stabilize your economy. And then my screen kept cutting out and I wasn't noticing it. So now I have to, like, I have 1 more slot in my fish tanks currently that I can fill up. I want to just get at least 1. So I figured let me just actually do let me show you guys how to get a mermaid video. And we're going to need some green fish anyway too. So some commons. But this is a really good place to come fishing. You can get like ancient ice whale fries and hammerhead fries and all the fries that you need that you want to put in your normal fish tanks. Again, what I'm going to recommend for a lot of players is that especially if they're not spending every waking hour playing this game, they may want to consider the premium fish tanks that you can buy with Amber. I do think those are actually a fairly good investment as far as like premium options that you can spend money on in this game. There's not a lot of stuff that you can spend. I don't think there's really anything besides those fish tanks that you can spend real money on in the game that really affect your economy so much. There's some cosmetic items that do help over time. When you do the dance parties, they increase your rewards, your flair, stuff like that. There you go. There's a nice swallowfish. The fishing here also is just very good, in case anybody's curious. I just want to fish here until I get the merfolk, and then I'm going to do another video on how to raise these merfolk and how to stabilize your economy with merfolk. Like I said, they're a very, very good way of getting cowries or amber, depending on your luck. And I have 3 of these fish tanks. The fish tanks themselves are a fairly good investment. That being said, fish tanks can be destroyed. It's just if these fish tanks get destroyed, you don't lose your fish. Other fish tanks, if they get destroyed, you do lose your fish. So just keep that in mind. So it's not a fail-safe for getting the fish tank destroyed. It's a fail-safe for if the fish dies in the tank, it won't die. It just gets returned to you. Oh, it doesn't. No, sorry. It doesn't. It just goes to sleep if it stays in the tank. If it dies in the tank, it'll get returned to you regardless. No, sorry. I actually don't know what'll happen if you have a normal fish tank and your fish dies after you fully fed it. I don't know if it gets returned to you as fully fed, or if you just lose the food, or if you get back like the previous stage. There's a couple weird mechanics on fishing, and it seems to be the case that there's some PvP mechanics involved here that just aren't fully implemented, because it does seem like you do lose resources that you've invested in your fish if your fish tanks are blown up. So like I said, you want to keep your fish tanks kind of secure in an area that people don't really know about. This is really the only thing that's super secret in the game for the most part is fish tanks, I would say. At least currently. That's just because any money that can be invested in them could be potentially lost. But you want to, and I'll do this video on this also, if you have those premium fish tanks, you will be giving yourself a little bit of a fail-safe. You will be kind of, nerfing the sides of the pool, let's say, in case you are running around and end up slipping and almost cracking your head. You'll be all right. You'll be all right in the case you fall down a bit. But you don't want the pool to get, let's just say, hit by 75 explosives, because that's still going to cause a problem for you. Shout out to the streamers watching these videos. Anyway, like you just saw, I got some really nice fish here, and these are fish you can throw in your fish tank. I just got a tiger shark fry. I do get ice whale fries very often from here. You can also fish a lot of this stuff, at least where we live, right off our back porch. So we do a lot of our fishing basically at home. But if you're trying to get the mermaids, you got to come to one of these 3 spots. The one I showed you is the one for Eastmount. Like I said, there's ones for Southmount. There's another one for Westmount. And that's where you're going to find a lot of people fishing and trying to stabilize their economy. Right now, you'll see there's actually a ton of blue merfolk on the marketplace currently. That's actually a little bit of a tongue twister. Blue merfolk on the marketplace. There's a lot of them currently, so the blues you're gonna want to just, if they have good skills, you want to train those up. I actually just did how to speed level your attendant. It's also basically how to just do advanced battle totems. It's the same thing. Just take your attendant also in those secret portals, and also do your encounters with them too. I think they get a nice little experience boost from that. And then you can release them at level 41. Like I said, there's a whole video on that, and it'll explain it somewhat in excessive detail, also mostly in detail for things that are actually irrelevant to that, but also apply kind of necessarily. Like, it's not, I was trying to do a video on advanced battle totems and then end up being, oh, this is actually how you level up your attendants. So then I just named it that, because everybody knows what an advanced battle totem is, even though they don't really know how to use them, but they don't know how to level up their attendants, and that's what they're going to be interested in. Thank you, YouTube, for keywords. Anyway, we're still waiting. We're still trying to get our merfolk here. I was going to record this entire video until I got one. I don't want to just sit here for the next 20 hours. There's a swordfish. That's nice. Swordfish fry. Let's go. I didn't get one, did I? Like I said, I've already tried to record this video 100,000 times. Whoop. But I just... Whoop. Whoop. But I just don't have a merfolk, an extra merfolk, because my screen kept cutting out. So this is where you catch them. It takes a little bit. It can take a little bit to catch them, as you can see. It's not instantaneous. You don't just get on the first try, but there are other rare fish that you catch. And those you can potentially turn into the egg through raising them in your normal fish tank, and not the fish tank I'm going to show you that's for merfolk only in the future video. But we're not getting any merfolk, so this almost doesn't even matter. I wonder if they've rarefied the merfolk to some degree. They have. I've noticed that they've changed the loot drops in this game here and there, so yeah, it could be something that they've done has made them more rare. You'll see on the market right now. I mean, the market's saturated with merfolk. I'll show you even really well. I would show you, but it's too much of a pain to get into the auction house and go look for them. But if you go look right now, odds are in your market, there's a lot of blue merfolk on the market, and they're not really useful for the individual player necessarily. Unless you're planning on raising them as an attendant, and you're not finding attendants very easily, but generally you can just either feed the ones that come to your house and then they become an attendant for you, or you're doing your fishing and raising them yourself anyway. So it is somewhat surprising to see so many of them on the... Oh, here we go, finally. Let's go! I got an Astra. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. Made the little merfolk sound. You can check in your inventory if you go under home. There she is. Okay, excellent. Now we can do our next video on how to stabilize your economy. Guys, I really do appreciate you checking me out. This is how you get those mermaids and some other rare fish. You can see we got some nice ones here. Tiger shark fries, swordfish fry, awesome fries. Grouper fry, that's a nice one. That's actually just a cosmetic. Check me out, twitch.tv/unclemuscles. We're the worst team ever, worst ever clan on the CloudSea server, USA region. Eastmount is our continent. I'm actually going to be doing a video on how to switch your continent in-game soon, too. So if you're still on CloudSea and you want to join us, we're going to figure out how to get you guys over into our clan, too. Anyway, I really appreciate it, guys. Definitely hit that like button. Definitely hit that sub button. I will be your best friend for the rest of my life. And definitely check me out, twitch.tv/unclemuscles. All that information is going to be in the description below. I'll catch y'all later, boys and girls. Put up a peace sign up for me. Bye now.